Here we are. This is time-lapse drawing of Bentley Mulsanne, lesson 5. And as you see, what I'm doing is working on the rest of the side panel and doors of the car. And I started this yesterday, and I'm just putting down a light base coat of color on it so that I'll be able to go back and highlight those places that I want to. I'm keeping it light enough that this color value right now is the value that I will use for the highlights. So I'm not really putting down the real color. It's just like I say, a base coat. This would be primer if you were putting on real paint or real color of some kind. And the car is gray, and I'm going to probably deepen it quite a bit. I want to make it look so it's substantial and not just a whole bunch of dots. So best way for me to do that is to put some pretty heavy coverage on it. But I don't want to make it into a black car. I want to keep it a gray car. So I'm going to be, as much as I can, I'm going to be careful with it to make sure that I get it to the point that it is believable as a gray car and that it looks good. So you see here, all I'm doing is I'm doing these on a diagonal because that's easier for me to do instead of making straight lines that might obscure the contours of the car. If I do it at an angle like this, I won't be exactly parallel to any of the other lines. So by doing this, I can work around things and make them work out better. And I don't take a chance on mistaking one of my lines for one of the drawing lines that I put on there. You can see this is kind of a loose pencil sketch underneath. There are several places that I haven't even touched yet, and a couple of them that I have emphasized and left in place, but haven't done anything with in terms of darkening them yet. But this is the way I like to work. I like to start with the dark areas, like we said, in the front of the car, and also the places that have the most detail, which again is the front of the car with the headlights and grill elements, which I haven't even begun to work on yet, and the darkness underneath, the shadowing underneath the car, and the shadowing of the wheels that are obscured. It just makes it a lot more interesting, so I enjoy working on those parts first. And also that gives me some idea of where the color is going to go. If I'm going to make a really dark car, then I have to have a dark color and I have to have a light color. The darker I put on the car, the better for me, because against the white of the background, it's going to stand out more. It's going to make it more dramatic, it's going to stand out, and it's going to look good. So that's what I try to do, is use a full spectrum of black and white, from the lightest grays to, obviously from the paper too, but from the lightest grays that I can put on to the darkest ones that I can put on. I like to use a whole spectrum of colors if possible. Sometimes it isn't possible, of course. When I have a white car or something like that, then I can only show the shadowing underneath or on the side, and that doesn't give me a full range of color values all over the car. But I generally like to put dots in every part of the car, so that I'll just have one big highlight or something that will show off, and the rest of it will be working against it, and that will help model the car and make it so it's more obvious what the contour is at every point on the car. Oh, here we go, though. It's a little details I'm putting up on the front. That bumper that sticks out is separate from the car body, and it has a pretty good seam on it. So I'm putting that in with pen so that you can see that it is there. It actually is the way it looks in the photograph, and that's our safety bumpers. Okay, a little bit extra work on the side. I'm just darkening it up a little bit. I'm getting down to the end today, but now that I have the base color there, I'm going to do the rocker panel, and I'll do the front of it tomorrow, and we should have this thing well along. I hope to see you back then, because we'll be doing a lot tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye.